Hey everybody, it's Tag, Life Done Free. Hey, in my spare time, one of the projects I've been working on is building a turkey coop. And I've elected to not do it traditionally because of the prices of lumber and, some of those things that are going on. So I looked around what I had and I had a whole bunch of telephone poles sitting there. So I'm standing big 20-foot poles up to build the structure. And, I'm just one guy, so I thought I'd show you how we stand a big 20-foot pole all by ourselves. So come on, let's go check it out. Well, so as you can see, those poles sitting in those holes over there, I've got 3 stood. I've got about 7 left to stand. I got the chicken coop in the background. Lily dog's running around somewhere. So let me just kind of show you what I'm doing here. So you can see the holes dug. I've got these piles of poles, and there's some great resources out there. When they're replacing poles along the side of the road, quite often you can get them for nothing or next to nothing. Hauling them's a little bit of a trick, but so I've separated them into big ones and small ones, and I want to use the small ones, and those are still 18, 20 feet tall, but I want to use the small ones for this project. So as you can see, I got 3 up. So here's kind of how I do it. So if you look, I set that pole right at the hole. And if you look down there on the forks, you'll see that little steel pipe. That steel pipe is critical because as I begin to lift and push forward, that telephone pole is going to roll on that fork, and then it's just going to pick it up and dump it right in that hole if we do it correctly. So, of course, got to use my skid loader, so I guess I'm not alone. You can see me pushing it. If you look real close, you can see it kind of just running by, and I'm just going slow, and I'm lifting it and then driving a little bit forward and lifting it and driving it a little bit forward, until we get to the top up there. And we'll just keep doing that till it stands. Here, let's take a look at a different view of how I did it. Hey everybody, so if you look, I'm starting to lift that pole, and you'll see the forks. I kind of just keep tilting them back until that pole will roll right up over the top of the cab. And so I just inch it forward a little bit, and I'm watching inside the cab to see where that pole is and make sure it's getting up above the arms and up above the the ceiling, and pretty quick I'll just start moving forward and we'll get it stood up. Now obviously they're not straight yet, but they're just sitting sitting inside the hole. But I like this process. It makes it, just so much easier to move big stuff if you, use the things around you. So just like that little pipe. A lot of people wouldn't think that'd be that useful, but I'm telling you, for rolling poles up, it's incredibly useful. So as you'll see, if you watch real close, you'll actually see that pole drop into that hole when I get it just a little bit further up. Yeah. Get it drop, back off. So the next thing we got to do here is we've got to get those poles not necessarily perfectly level, but pretty close. It's kind of hard to level a telephone pole, mainly because the bottom's thicker than the top, so they're not exactly straight. And so you got to try to compensate for that a little bit. But there's a chicken coop again in the back. If you look up there, just simply put a screw up there. Come down to the bottom, drive a stake, put another screw, and I have somebody help me just kind of get them level, and then I screw them together to handle the other side, the right and left. So they all come together. You can see that pole there. That pole's not very straight right at the moment. But what I'll do is once I get all the poles up and I actually start to build it, I will level every single hole. And if I've got to push pole around a little bit with the skid steer, I certainly can. Well, so that's pretty much how it's done. 5 poles up, still got 5 poles more to go, and I'll continue to film as I go along on this project, but again, it's kind of a part-time project for me, so we'll get it done at some point. Anyway, listen, go out there today, live a little freer than you did yesterday. Make sure you go out there and, live free, hold the line, don't give an inch. Tag out.